Never give up on your dream just when you think your 15 minutes is over. Sometimes there's more. If you keep at it, I always find usually there is more. Andy Kim thought his career was over. He moved from New York to LA, didn't really know a lot of people, but then he got his biggest hit. Find out how he did it on Rock History Music.
With Rock Me Gently, you hit me at a good time, man. I was like I was one of those guys who liked everything. I'm the guy who had Saturday Night Fever and Zeppelin 4 coming to school. I mean, to me, music was music, and I didn't understand. We still live in a world where someone says, "You like that?" I'm going, "Well, you either like Justin. I don't like Justin Bieber, but you either like Justin Bieber or you don't. You either like Andy Kim or you don't. You either like if it makes you feel good. My God, how could you argue with that?" But I love telling this to artists, "Rock Me Gently." I remember like turning around the bass line. That guy played with freaking Zappa. That's crazy. Michael Lomardian on keys, Ed Green on drums. I mean, I used to call that song a perfect hit single, like a perfect song. Tell me about that one.
Well, this will solidify that God's angels have surrounded me and helped me. I moved from New York City. There was an exodus. Everyone left from New York City to distant lives of LA. And so I packed my bags and went to LA, And for me, I had a penthouse on Sunset. I had a brand new Mercedes. I didn't know how to drive. My business manager got me a brand new Mercedes and a penthouse with a bunch of rooms. So I had surpassed my 2 minutes and 30 seconds. And one morning I woke up and I'm always, if I'm going to have the guitar, I'm going to have my cassette player playing, because the stream of consciousness comes and then you try to get it back, but you're missing some kind of nuance.
Yeah.
So I write the song, and if I didn't have a lyric, I would dance around it in a melody and the chorus and all of this. But by mid-morning, I had written the whole song, and I just like, my God, I love this song. I love this song. And I kind of left it and came back to it. And I would play the cassette version because there was a couple of things that I did melodically that I wanted to hold on to. I just said, okay, I'm going to go and I'm the writer, the artist. I'm going to be the producer as well, because I didn't know anyone. And so if I learned anything in all those years, it would be that I could stand on my own 2 feet and make this record. But I didn't know any musicians, so I called a friend of mine in LA, and he said, well, why don't you call the Musicians Union? Okay, I called, and and I said, my name's Andy Kim, and I just went to the studio, and it's a brand new tracking room, and it's on Gower. And I was giving her more information that she wanted, probably. And I said, Andy, I would like 5 musicians. She said, great. They'll be there at 8:00. It was a Friday, I still remember. Raining. I went to McDonald's and ate on the way to the studio. and it was raining on a Friday night, and I walk in, and the guys are there, except the bass player is not there. And
Max
it's
Bennett.
Max Bennett.
Yes.
So I introduced myself and everyone, and I don't know. I mean, I had a lot of hits in LA, so I don't put yesterday as a foundation for my tomorrow or my today. It's all in a new day. Nobody knows who I am, and if they do, thank you. But you know, I've moved on from myself. I'm here now. You know, so so we go in the studio, and I'm not a great guitar player, but I write. I'm not a great keyboard player, but I write. And so all these guys are like, and I have no idea who they are. I mean, I know their names, but Ed and Michael and Dean and Larry. Can't believe Larry was on that session, So I'm doing kind of okay explaining to them that I don't want it to be poppy. This is really kind of a sexy tune. And I always start with, at least for me, this was my first time alone. I always start with the lyrics. Because if you hear the lyrics, you get into a mood. Ain't it good, ain't it right that you're with me here tonight in music? And I wanted to make a Staples Records groove. Not, I'm not going to do 5 guitars. I'm not going to go in and so while I'm talking to the guys, the door opens and I realize it's a bass player, and I have no idea who it is, but it's a bass player, right? So as I'm talking to them, he's starting to play the kadoon, the kadoon doot, the kadoon. And so I asked the guys, hold on a sec. And I went to him and I said, so what is that? He said, I'm just tuning my bass. I said, but that's how the record starts. The kadoon doon doon, doon 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 doon. Could you do that? And that is, I'm telling you, I don't think of these things. Someone has surrounded me and said, if you have enough courage, great people will come into your life and they'll help you. That's the way I look at it. So about 45 minutes later, we had cut the track, and it was like, oh my God. But I left a bunch of bars open. So I had the verse, the verse A, verse B, chorus all down, and then verse A and verse B as a second chorus. But there's a gap because I don't want a guitar solo. I don't want to hear sax solo. I just want to hear something that I've never heard before. So I had gone to a party in Malibu, and someone was driving me back. And the building I was in was on, if you've been to Sunset and Horn, there was a Tower Records on the corner, not too far from the Roxy. And up there, you can see a building. And then you can see the city. So I said, you know what? And I want my B-side, because I don't have a B-side, to be what the Isley Brothers and other people have done. It's an instrumental version of the A-side. So what basically happened was I'm coming back from a party in Malibu, and the radio's on, and I hear what I want to hear. So I can't wait for morning to come. So this was about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. So I can't wake Michael Mardian up. And I am. So I wait to a decent hour and I call him and I say, I got what I want. He said, what's that? I said, Stevie Wonder on my record. He said, okay, well, I'll tell you what you need to get. And he told me exactly the kind of clavs I needed to get and all the stuff that I wouldn't have understood what to get. I'm telling you, those angels have been taking care of me. And I have a responsibility to take care of a lot of other people, you know? So he comes in, and I think, well, he did the first take, and I loved the first take. And he said, well, I got a couple of, I think he was there for maybe 20 minutes, and then he was gone. And I was like, I can't believe this is my record. I'm not only the writer, I'm the artist, I'm the producer, I'm the publisher. Now I got to get a record company. And I went everywhere from A&M to RCA to all of that stuff. And that's another story. And everybody said no, because my 2 minutes and 30 seconds have been up, according to all those people. So I decided, you know what? I'm going to, the last person that said no, I got in the car, and there were tears in my eyes. I didn't know why they weren't hearing what I heard. So I called home, and my mom picked up, and I said, Mom, I'm coming home. Well, she was ecstatic. And I said, but I'm only going to be there for maybe a month, because I'm going to start my own record company. It's going to be called ICE, International and Canadian Entertainment. I had this whole vision of everything. And I'm going to start promoting it, but she didn't understand a word I was saying, except that I'm coming home. But I just blurted it out. I'm just going to go to the border states, and I'm going to get played again on American radio, and then it's going to climb up the charts. And what basically happened was, somebody called me from, I'd gone to LA. The record was happening. It's a long story, but basically, some stations saw that America was not playing it. They stopped playing it. They didn't want to play it anymore, not because of anything, but because America was not playing it.
Heard a lot of that.
Heard a lot of that, and you'll hear it today. So I got a phone call, and someone said, is Andy Kim there? And I said, hi, it's me. He said, hi. He said, everywhere I go in Detroit, the mom and pop stores, the Handelman, which was a one-stop, everyone's asking about your record. And you need records in this market. And I said, yeah, I spoke to a trucker. I may have a trucker coming with 10,000 units in a couple of weeks. He said, no, you don't understand. He said, you need 20,000 units in the Detroit, Michigan market on Monday. This was like a Wednesday. And I said, does this mean you want to sign me? He said, no, I don't want to sign you. I don't want you to lose this record. It's a #1 record. I've heard it. I don't want you to lose it. So I did that. And the following week, 20,000 units were in Michigan. The following week of that, it was number 88 in Billboard. Stations that had dropped me, now they played me, kind of pissed me off. But it's the way it is. And that guy's name, I want you to look him up, because I think he's historic. His name is Al Khoury. At that time, he was vice president in charge of A&R and promotion at Capitol. He went on to be part of RSO and brought the Bee Gees a gazillion albums. Just a very magical human being. He's passed on now. A magical human being that was interested in the music and in the promotion of it, and fought for this artist that he signed. They eventually signed me, but I think I was top 50 by that point, on the way to number one. You know, it was on the charts for 4 months, if you can believe it.
Yeah, I remember some people say that one took it's one. I don't know if it holds a record to get to number one, but it was a long way. Yeah,
and so many people have come and raised me up to a place I felt I wanted to be or belonged or something. And so deep down inside, it was incredible. And to try to explain or try to make any sense of it all, to be honest with you, it's hard for me. What's easy is that every moment in time, something magical is happening.
mm-hmm.
And then it moves. The waves keep moving.
Go to andykimmusic.com for more details. Remember, if you want to donate to the channel, there are links for PayPal at the very top of every video we release if you want to help us out. Any proceeds we get help us buy equipment and help us promote the channel. You can join our Patreon, get early access to all our videos. And we love it when you subscribe to our channel, like our videos, share them on social media, and comment on them as well. I'm John Bowden. This is Rock History Music. Take care of yourself.